Right, by popular demand, I've had a few people asking me about the dark side. What I mean by that is bottom bait fishing. That's what a term I use, calling it the dark side. Now, in my fishing, right, yeah, I only really worry about two rigs. One's a pop-up rig, which we all know is a chod. The other one's like, you need a decent bottom bait setup, which is for me fishing like basically close in on gravel. Now there's two hook link materials I use. If I'm unsure and like it's a bit dirty, I use like a braided hook link that sinks. Why I do that, right, yeah, is if you've got a sinking braid, right, yeah, say like Corda 18 Supernatural is the one I use, right, yeah, you can be rest assured that it's going to like go along the bottom a lot better. If you use something like a stiff or a mono hook link, just say something like that, you can imagine, even though you pulled it out, it's like a bit sort of like ropey, not sort of the thing for fishing on like dirty stuff. So I like to like, I mean this one here is the stiff coated one, right, yeah, it'd have to be mega clean gravel for that. If I'm fishing like on a clean gravel spot, I don't want to put it there. What I mean is that I found them on it, I'd rather put it on like the dirtiest stuff at the side or the back. So I'd use something like N-Trap soft, right, yeah, or Corda Supernatural in £18. Right, you have to bear with me here because I'm going to have to zoom down. Right, here we go. These are the main things I'm using for this dark side rig. 25 hooks for less than £2.50. Love these B175 size 6. You need these because we'll micro rings from Corda. I either use this hook link, it's from Corda N-Trap Soft, or Supernatural in the green in 18. Now for most of the time, and especially when I'm in doubt, I use this stuff here. It sinks on the bottom and it's more like lays on the bottom instead of like it'll stick up. So it's more like easy to move around. So it's like kneads to the bottom, the contours of the bottom of the lake. And it sinks, like I said, like a brick. So I'm going to cut about 20 inches off this. Like most people know, I'm a little bit different. I always fish, I'm going to do this, I'd fish not the standard 9 to 7 inch most people do. So first things first, put it through. So it's a knotless knot, this is. So we're going to leave the hair a good 4 inches there, just in case we need to do it into a bottom bait. I don't like to commit myself before, because if I've committed to a short hair and I want to lengthen it, I can't. Then I'll go 4 times, knotless knot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, or 7, up to you. Right, we then put it back through. It's never easy when you're doing this on camera. So anyway, once we've got that through, we then pull the knot tight so it doesn't slip at any point, so it's nice and tight. The problem with this now, the knot will like offset the hair, and I like the hair to run in line with the shank of the hook and the hook link as well. So all I do is just tweak it round till it's dead in line, and what I mean by that is that. So you're getting 100% pucker presentation. So there's nothing hard about this rig, right, yeah? It's just a knotless knot tied to a long shanked hook. You don't have to use any shrink tubing, right, yeah, because it'll turn itself, which I'll show you. And then you just get yourself, finish it off on a blowback style. get one of these little rings, just dab your finger right, yeah, a bit of saliva, and then just put it on like so. God, that hook is deadly sharp. Right. So now what you do, you get the ring and put it right just before the bend of the hook. Then wet the hair, makes it easier, then put it through the ring on the hook like so, and then you push it back towards the eye and it forms a loop here. Now this is your fixing point for your granny knot, as I call them, on the ring to hold it on the hook in place. Do that again. Right, so we go back through the loop and then go back through the loop again. Right, yeah, and then pull it down, and that rig is finished. You don't want it to be past the bend, was it can come off over the eye, over the point. So that is the finished rig, dark siding it up. Simple but effective, and look at that hook, super sharp, an Uncle Jim special. Anyway, when you put it over your hand, look, I'll spin it loads of times, look, and it just comes straight in. It does it even better when you've got a bait on it as well. Look, spin it and it's straight in. It's not dragging up half an inch or nothing like that. It turns straight away. Right, bait wise, okay, I normally like to use not a single bait but a snowman, 2 baits. One would be a bottom bait, 15 or 16 mil. Presently, if I do use a dark side rig, which is the blowback rig on the bottom, right, yeah, close in normally, I would use sticky baits, which on field testing, that's the krill bait, which is out for release later on at some point. And then I tip it off, right, yeah, with either their white chocolate or their pineapple. Now I'll show you what I'm doing. Right, the top one's a pop-up, white chocolate, and that's a bottom bait. I like to use a long hair. Now this is what I mean about, like, not you haven't committed yourself to the hair, so it's quite easy to, if I put it on the, where is it, see that, look, I just double it up and then measure it. I like to give about ½ an inch from the bottom of the bait to the hook, which is just a couple mil more. Right, and then loop it over. There's nothing hard here, just loop it over. You then pull it through, and if I like the top bait to be like a bit of movement, I pull the knot down further. Now why I do that, right, yeah, is I'm going to fix the bottom bait there, and it will leave a gap here for the pop-up to move around, which I'll show you. Hook it on. Now that knot, leave the tag on it, suck that right up inside. Right, see, look, it's really hard to pull off now. I then put the pop-up on, so that gives that at least 4 mil gap, so you've got a bit of movement there. And that is the dark side rig I use. And when it sits on the bottom, I don't have the hook sitting up, I want it to sit on the bottom like that, so it's the bottom bait's masking the hook like that. But you don't have to have them fixed, you can just have it straight up if you want, like so. It sits in the water, if you can imagine, like that. Simple but effective. And I'll pull it over my hand for you. Right, look. Every time, with no shrink tubing. So it's a pucker anti-eject system, right, yeah? And in my fishing, I just need 1 or 2 rigs, right, yeah, that work, and that's it. Right, so I've showed you the dark side rig, right, yeah, how simple it is to tie up. Like I said, it's for fishing on sort of clearer areas. It's okay in silt, a bit of light silkweed, right, yeah. Now to complement that, right, yeah, for casting and presentation. Now I'd put that on there, a bag, just a few krill pellets, whatever you want to do, and there's a few boilies in there like so. And there's one more trick I need to do. Right, this is the finished setup. Now I've got a bag. Now what this does is it does two things for me, right? For casting, it stops tangles, and when it hits the bottom of the lake bed, right, yeah, it gives me presentation. Now I like to put a bit of PVA tape, as you can see, round, and that holds the hair in place, because if I didn't, on the cast, this could wrap round this hook. So by putting it in place on the bag, right, yeah, I know that this rig is not tangled, right, yeah, and plus with the bag, like I said, casting it doesn't. Now just because we've tied it on, there's no need to snip that, like the tags of the PVA tape off. So all you do, right, yeah, use them as a stringer. So which one is the hook bait, boys and girls? So you've got a PVA mesh bag stringer system. Simple but effective. Catches me loads of carp. I mean, I took it over to Gary Bays' day ticket with some geezers, and they had 7 to 23 pound doing this. So really simple and effective, and the lake was fishing a bit tricky as well. Anyway, that's enough of this, right, yeah. I'm on a 24-hour break now. I've been doing tuitions like you don't want to know. So I thought I'd just do a bit of this before I lay down and chill out and probably go to sleep. Anyway, wish me luck.